Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? You guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're talking about the one, the only ICP. Now, you know me, I'm super high on ICP. I actually hold a good amount of ICP. I haven't checked my portfolio in some time in terms of the average balance, how much I hold in terms of percentages, because I am on multiple exchanges. I'm also offline. So, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's definitely a decent amount. It's definitely a decent amount because ICP, the technology, it really just is ahead of its time. Like it really is. And yeah, man, like to be honest, I am like super high on ICP. And not only that, but it's also because of its price action. I know some people don't believe in the charts that much, but I personally really do. I think when it comes to the charts, it's always one of those things where it's like, for me, it always makes sense. If anything, if I get something wrong, it's because I got it wrong, not because, the charts were indicating one way, but then they're just, surprise. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into the coin confessions. I swear I could have had it. I had it somewhere over here, but it doesn't really matter. We can just choose any single one right here, and we can see, ladies and gentlemen, boom. I have no debt. I have been staking ETH for literally years, as well as other altcoins. I'm about to get laid off, so I have a severance and leave cashed out, and it's on top of a bull run that will will literally make me rich. So this is very nice, right? There's multiple people that I know of, and I just even people online I see that they talk about stories like this where they've been just accumulating for years and years and years in fantastic projects like Ethereum, right? I know Ethereum in terms of technology is like, it's like a dinosaur at this point, but it doesn't matter, right? Because you got to think how big money thinks. Big money, they are comfortable with what's been around for a while, and that's just the truth, right? That is just the truth. So having lots of Ethereum staked and buying lots of ETH and knowing it's also probably at least going to double at the bare minimum this cycle is probably very nice to know. It's very nice to know. And if any of you guys are in the same position, then shout out to you guys. Hopefully you guys, cash out. Because I know there's going to be some people that they might not cash out and because, mental blockages and stuff. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, all right, this is what I'm going to dive into the technical analysis on my end, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. So, we're going to look at the charts in a second, but you see this green lines, you see these green lines, these aren't the actual, this isn't actual ICP just yet, right? This isn't an actual ICP just yet. This is just a prediction, but this is what I've literally been talking about for like weeks now, okay? Because the way we have been forming, the way we've been going, ladies and gentlemen, we have been just going sideways for many months. I mean, we could practically start the argument since early to mid March, we have been going sideways, and we are in the beginning of September. Yes, we're on the lower end of the range, but ultimately it's still going sideways, right? And we can see, ladies and gentlemen, when we go to the basics, we are ranked 44 out of 9,536 active cryptos. So we're like, in the top half a percent. We're absolutely crushing it. 2.56 billion market cap, 76 million in volume in the last 24 hours. So it's been looking very nice, right? Where last month we're down 7.21%. In the last 7 days, we haven't done too much work. We're down 2%. The last day we're up 1.74%. In the last year, we are down a little bit. We were higher last year, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, right? Do not worry. I believe in this cycle, we are somewhere over here, right? We are somewhere over here, most certainly, in my opinion. Boom. Yes, of course, this time around, it has been taking much longer, but you have to remember that when things take longer, it's because they're going to go higher than the last time. Remember, people, it's easier to have a coin cycle out, go up to 1 million market cap, back down to 200K, and then go to 5 million in market cap in just even a couple of weeks. But something like ICP, you gotta remember, we are top 44. We are a big boy. Like this ain't no joke, right? I know, price is on the lower end in terms of ICP where we want it to be, but this ain't no joke, right? This is not a joke. Like we are still a top 50 coin, and we are still one of the best technologies out there without going too much debate. So it's one of those things where you have to realize that, going from 20 or 2.5 billion market cap to 25 billion market cap, that's some serious money, that's some serious volume, that takes some serious time. And that would make us even just go right now from $4.76 to $47, which $47, by the way, people, would be all the way pretty much somewhere up here, right? It would be pretty much somewhere up here. Boom. But yeah, we can see this is the line right over here. Boom, right? This whole entire area is $47. And that's just a 10x, right? That is just for pretty much 25, 26 billion market cap, like we're talking about. Yeah, and we're not even talking about 50 billion market cap, because 50 billion market cap, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be, that $90-ish area. And that's already like really big, 50 billion. But obviously, we know that's going to happen this cycle. Like, I'm super, super confident ICP destroying these targets. For me, ICP is one of those cryptos that I see between 35 to 45 billion market cap casually, right? So even if we were to 20x, that is 50 billion. So it's a little bit out of our range by 5 billion market cap. But like I said, it would be, 90-ish dollars. And so $90 is all the way up here, right? We would be sweeping, and we talked about this before, but we would be sweeping these highs, right? We would be sweeping these highs over here. And, we talked about how I don't know 100% what's going to happen in terms of whether we're just going to go into a weekly institutional candle with a high probability of going to $75, or if we're going to sweep maybe to $90, or if we're going to, double pump and go up even higher, because I need to see more data, right? A price prediction really doesn't hold that much value, to be honest. I could say it could go to $180. That means nothing. I'm not the one in control at the end of the day. It's the market makers. Obviously, ICP in terms of the technology itself and what they do behind the scenes, and for ICP also matters. So it's a couple of things, but people like us, we are just here to pretty much report to people like you, right? So you guys just sleep better at night, so you have a better understanding. So you just pretty much don't lose track and you don't lose hope and faith, because to be honest, like, I understand why people could be kind of down right now. There was ICP and altcoins, but literally all the data does suggest that we are still going to have some nice mega cycle. We are still going to have some very, very nice pumps this cycle. So to be honest, I'm just chilling. I've just been dollar cost averaging a bunch of cryptos, including ICP, and I'm just waiting. I'm just patiently waiting. It's probably just a couple more months away until we get that big bang. And the day we get that big bang, ladies and gentlemen, all of your worries will be paid off, right? All the stress, all the ups and downs, and stressful moments, it's all going to be worth it in the end. I know it is how it looks now. You got to remember, we're not in a sell-off. Like, we're not selling off, right? We're not selling off. We're not doing a little mini cycle. Like, we are accumulating, we are building a bottom, so we never come to the bottom. I'm telling you. And once we break out of the $6 zone, like, we should never ever see it again, unless ICP truly would flop. Like, that is the only way. The only way we would ever see $6 is if ICP flops and maybe gets to $30 a cycle, maybe just to $40. But other than that, like, we should never be seeing these lows again. So for me, prime buying opportunities, in my opinion. I truly do believe that. So yeah, that is ultimately going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys so much. I know some of you guys don't like the meme coins, but I've seen people talk about, hey, just talk about ICP only, no meme coins. But ladies and gentlemen, meme coins, sorry to tell you, in July, in a little bit of August, and a little bit of June, we smashed it in a private community. We hit a 11x, a 5.5, and a 8x. So, I know ICP has better technology and stuff, but short-term opportunities do rise up. Highly recommend joining the private community. That is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.